But prioritizing is really, really hard. I think the hardest part about it is being able to let go of the thing that you didn't prioritize.
Yeah.
So you say, okay, I am going to prioritize this thing. And then you're like, but I didn't do that other thing.
It was a terrible idea to stand on the chair, Savannah, and everybody knows that now because you fell into the table and ruined Jenga.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the ADHD Eavesdrop, where you can be a butterfly on the wall and listen in on my conversations. Today, I have my daughter, Savannah, and my son-in-law, Jack Keeson, and I'm super excited to have them back because every time they're here, it's a fiasco.
That's right.
So we decided to go super casual and curl up on the couch together with our cups of coffee and just have a nice conversation. We're going to do something a little different today, and we're going to answer some questions. We'll see what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll have a good time. Welcome back, you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good to be back.
So, aside from the fact, let's see, the last time you guys were on, it was about a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
and you were not married yet. So it was like 2 or 3 weeks before you guys got married that
Yeah.
Yeah.
you were on together. And so it's a little bit past that because you got married
Yes.
in October and
Yeah.
now it's November, but about a month and a half.
Yeah.
So pretty close. Anyway, not that it matters that much. It's like my mother telling a story.
I
And then
know.
yesterday at 2 o'clock, we had, well, was it 3 o'clock? No, I think it was 2 o'clock. Well, it doesn't matter. No, actually, it was about 2:15. It was about quarter after because I know it was between.
Right.
So yeah. Anyway, that's not the story we need to tell today.
It's a great grandma impression.
So today we're going to answer some questions, and I'm just going to go ahead and dive in. All right. So this first question is a really good one, and I'm going to direct it to Savannah. Savannah, what's something people don't realize is harder with ADHD than it looks?
Everything. Literally everything. Like, okay, let's get specific. Teaching. I'm going to say teaching,
Mhm.
definitely, because I don't know, I feel like teaching is hard regularly, but when you are just as easily distracted as children, it can make it really difficult to get things
Oh
done.
my gosh, you're so right. You are so right because I can attest to that, having been a teacher with ADHD.
Yes. Yes. And the problem is that they're funny, and I'm not good at not laughing. They're really funny.
Well, there's a lot of organization, and a lot of, being
Planning.
prepared, planning. Yeah, there's a lot of that goes into teaching. And so absolutely, I'm sure it is harder than.
On the other hand, you might be a little bit better at, like, going with the flow and just being like, this is what we're doing now, because, like, that's you don't always have control over what's going on in the classroom.
Well, and it's funny because I think on the one hand, you're right that it's harder than a lot of people might think. But I think also that there is probably a higher proportionally number of teachers with ADHD.
Absolutely.
I think it's a pretty common denominator in the educator community.
Yes.
So I think in some ways it must be advantageous. I think a lot of it is, I think it's advantageous because it's so different all the time and that novelty. But I think people don't realize how much organization, how much time management, how much emotional regulation,
Yes.
all these things all go into teaching.
Yes. And it's interesting that you mentioned the time management thing because my kids know. If I walk into class and say, "Oh, I'm not wearing my watch. I forgot my watch." They're going to be like, "It's going to be an interesting time."
I feel like with teaching with ADHD as well is there's an element of figuring out how to make boring things fun. Like when I would teach summer camps for kids, one of the things I would love to do is start each class with a 10-minute just session where we just asked questions. Like, what are you curious about? Let's talk about that for a moment. And then we get into the lesson of the day. And, it might be like the water cycles, but, we're still finding ways to make it interesting and fun. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Are we ready for our next question?
I think so.
Lay it on me.
All right, this one I'm gonna send to Jack
Ooh.
in Jack's direction. Where did my list of questions go? Here it is. What is your relationship with clocks and time?
Yeah.
Great question.
Man, I generally have a healthy-ish relationship with clocks and time. Like, in my mind, I immediately go to specifically clocks. Like, I have a relationship with the clock in my car because I will set it to be early so that
Oh.
I will think, "Well, I need to get there," and
Mhm.
then have a higher chance of being at 2 places, usually early, which is good, but sometimes it can be too much.
Doesn't your brain do the calculations?
Yeah.
You know that your clock is set ahead.
Weirdly enough, that's one of the horse blinders I have on.
Days.
This is what the clock tells me, ergo, boof, like, that's just it.
Awesome. Because
That's one of
my
those blind spots for
my
my
brain would
mind.
be like, no, I know what time it is.
Exactly. That's how I
See,
am too.
that's no, I am grateful in that element that my brain takes a lot at face value.
Well, that would
It's
make
like,
it
"Oh, that must be the
easier.
time."
Yeah. Then all we'd have to do is just set our clocks ahead a little bit
Right?
and we'd all be set.
And,
Unfortunately, my
ugh.
relationship with clocks and time is not all that friendly. Honestly, we go fisticuffs sometimes.
Yes. Curious about y'all's relationship with a circled clock. Analog clock, if you will. I tend to call it circle time,
Uh-huh.
and I can't read circle time.
You can't read circle time?
I can. It's just gonna take me a really long time.
Okay, gosh, I was gonna be like, I failed you as a mother.
No, I can read circle time. I'm just not going to.
Circle time. Log.
Well, it happened again yesterday at rehearsal. Kittens thought we were like an hour behind
Mm.
because the clock at the back was an hour behind from daylight savings time. And so she was looking at that one while wearing a watch, and I just can't relate because I would look at that clock and say, nah.
Right.
You know, the thing is like a lot of people with ADHD, myself included, would not even think twice about that. It'd be like, okay, it possibly is. I might think, wow, time's passed fast, or is that all it is? But I have such a terrible sense of time
Oh,
that
yeah.
I really believe that I could look at a clock that was an hour off and not be really phased by it too much.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, no. She wasn't. She was just relieved when she found out that we had another hour of rehearsals.
Sure. Now your dad, on the other hand, holy crackeroni, he would look at the clock and he'd be like, "Oh no, that's off by a minute and two or an hour and 2 minutes." Right?
Right, exactly.
I don't know how he does that.
Well, and that's kind of where I kind of dip into fully in the other direction because I like my mind is so on like, oh, we've got this thing at 5 o'clock. It's 12:30 now, so I
Oh,
must
yeah.
make no plans.
Yes,
Yeah.
I must be ready for the 5 o'clock.
yes,
Yeah.
the ADHD
Like-
brain that can only do one thing a
Yep.
day.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Right?
Just
And
so,
I almost
like-
fell into that trap earlier today because I cleaned the bookshelf
Yeah.
Right.
and my brain said, well,
I've succeeded.
That's right.
I
We
cleaned
are
the
done.
bookshelf, right? And like going on to the office was a push
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
because but I'm just the same. So like on Tuesday, I
Mhm.
have a vet appointment for the cat in the
Mhm.
morning. I have a client in the afternoon.
Mhm.
Then I have a doctor's appointment for me
Mhm.
and another client after that.
Eh.
So it's not so much like how busy I am. Oh, look how busy I am. That's not what I'm trying to
No.
say. What I'm trying to say is there's way too many things in that day.
Definitely.
I would
I
agree.
feel like I look at that day and I think 4 things.
That's
Right.
too many things.
2 of which at least are appointments.
4
I really like
things?
more like 3 of the 4 of the 4. Oh, they're all appointments. That's wild.
Yeah, just like, and oh no, because I also have a girl gang. That
Oh my
Ah.
God. That is too much.
Man.
5 things.
That'll be a good release after it though, right?
Yeah.
But it's still a thing for sure. But
Yeah.
like,
Well, and I think that's actually why I tend to I will overplan a day for the sake of having free time another day.
Yeah.
I will just like push all of my things into one day or into a like 8-hour slot. Like if I've got doctor's appointments, I'm going in the morning.
Mhm.
First thing in the morning because then I still have the afternoon.
yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Also, like that way I'm already going. I'm already doing things. I'm already, and that way I can't like my energy doesn't die out and I don't have to be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do the thing."
Right.
Do the thing. Oh, that was a good question. I like that one.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
nice. My relationship with Papa Time.
Yeah, right. Great. I'm gonna take this one.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. How do you decide what's important when
Oh,
everything feels important?
priorities.
Oh,
Yeah.
prioritization. I remember when I got my job as department head at Kalamazoo Central, and I can vividly remember looking at my supervisor and saying, "You are going to have to tell me what is the most important thing because everything is the most important
Yes.
thing."
Yep.
Yes.
Right. Of course, that doesn't bode well for a working setting when you're like, "I can't prioritize."
Mm,
But I really was having a hard time with it because everything seemed like it had to be done
Today.
now,
Yep.
Right now.
Right now.
right?
Right
Yes.
now, or it doesn't get done.
Yes.
Yeah, or I'm in complete failure, and there's
Mhm.
like no physical way possible to get everything done at that time
Yeah.
that
Yes.
way.
Oh, that's why I love deadlines. I mean, I hate deadlines, but I love deadlines because then I can actually prioritize. Like, if this thing needs done by end of day today, then I'm going to prioritize that over a thing that needs to be done by end of day tomorrow.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but deadlines help with that. But false deadlines don't help me very
No,
No, I
much.
no,
can't.
no. Like once you create for yourself, it's like I made that. I can
Yes.
shift that.
Right? What you need
Yes.
to do is like pull somebody into the fold and say,
Yeah.
they set the deadlines for you.
Mm,
You have to have an
Yes,
assistant who
absolutely.
that this is the deadline, and
mhm.
then it's not really. And
Well, and
then
Right.
that's
never
like,
tells you, never
Yes.
yes.
tells you that they're doing
Never.
it.
Yes. Well, and that's
Absolutely.
like, I feel like my supervisors at work do that because they always give me loose deadlines. They always give me a deadline, and then it's like, if you need more time, just let us know. So it's like, I definitely want to get it by that deadline because I don't want to deal with it. But it's also like sometimes I feel like your supervisors are just okay with being the bad guy.
Right.
It's like, yeah, you're gonna give me a deadline and I'm probably gonna be mad about it, but you're my supervisor and I'm probably gonna be mad about a few things that you do.
Yeah, right?
I
Right.
still like you. You're still a good person
For the most part,
for the
yeah.
most part,
I
but I'm gonna be mad at you.
I do think too there's something to be said for going down this list of tasks and figuring out which ones you can do along the way to doing other tasks, like which can kind of Russian nesting doll into each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Like when we were leaving the house this morning.
yeah.
Yes, because we needed to take out the litter and we needed to take out the trash. And I was thinking, I was like, okay, so I'll get myself ready and then we can take the trash out on the way over to your house
Yep.
because we were going to have to drive the trash to the end of the driveway
Right.
because it's like 200 miles long.
And when I to answer the question as far as figuring out what to do when everything feels important, is I try to start breaking things down as to, is it time sensitive? What you said with the deadlines, is somebody else counting on me
Mm-hmm.
to get
Yeah.
it done? And like generally we aren't motivated by importance of other people. I do know that if somebody else is waiting for me to get something done so that they can get their job done, that's probably a higher priority than something that I need to get done for me to get my job done.
Yes, agreed.
Um, so I look at that, and then I look at the energy and mental energy and strength it's going to take to do the activities, and if it's going to take more energy than what I have, I move on to some other things that I do have enough energy for. But prioritizing is really, really hard. I think the hardest part about it is being able to let go of the thing that you didn't prioritize.
Yeah.
So you say, "Oh, I am going to prioritize this thing," and then you're like, "But I didn't do that other thing."
Yep.
Right. Exactly. Or maybe I would have rathered do that other thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should have done it
And I didn't.
and I didn't,
Right.
so because do any of us ever second guess ourselves?
Oh, all the
Never.
time.
Well, I suppose too that there's that must be part of the metric too, is weighing the consequence of like if this thing has to be put aside for now, is that the least of the impacts that these
Right.
tasks could have, like
The lowest possible
Yeah.
consequence.
That was another thing I was gonna
Is
thank you
got
for
you.
reminding me, is the impact. What
Yeah.
is the impact of
Mhm.
the activity? Is it a small impact or is it a big impact? Because it could be a
Right.
small activity like, you know, calling my mom for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's a really big impact
Yeah.
yeah.
as opposed to, an hour-long seminar on something that I've seen before and I
Right.
know that has very little impact, right?
Yeah.
So, prioritizing things that impact yourself or the people around you
Yes.
are also a good way to prioritize. Thank you for
Yes.
reminding
Yeah.
me of
But
that.
of course.
I think that kind of leads into the thing that I was thinking too, which is that, like, as much as I love deadlines, if it is like a self-imposed thing, like cleaning my house, right? Like, I can say, well, I got more important crap to do than clean my room. But when you mention the impact part of that, it's like, oh, you don't really think about like the impact it has on you to have a clean space. And if I
Yeah.
consider that more often as a priority, I could maybe trick my brain. I wanted to tell you an interesting thing that I saw on Instagram about kind of like tricking your brain into being okay with chores. And I showed Jack this
Oh,
too.
yeah.
You just make everything magical. I'm not making the bed. I'm sealing the portal to the dream realm. You know, like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm not taking out the trash. I'm banishing old things and welcoming new things or whatever. You just make it more magical. It's like, oh,
Yeah. I mean, I've done the whole acting
yeah,
Yeah.
thing. Well, I generally am that Cinderella character,
yes.
like
I remember as a kid
the
when
mean stepmother who's
Yeah.
gonna make
you
me do
would try to
everything.
get me to play that game. You would try to get me to pretend I was Cinderella, and I would always be like, I'm not doing it. I'm mad, and I'm not
And you're like,
doing
good
it.
job.
Right. Because it worked
Oh.
for me.
Well, yeah, and
And so,
it was
like,
so hard to get me to do chores and
oh
cleaning as a
Well,
god, it
child.
was
I think
terrible.
specifically with this idea of making them kind of into rituals, I think that particularly would work well for recurring tasks.
Mm.
Yeah,
Where like you have to do the clothes every week, you have
yeah.
to do the
That
bed
drives me.
every week,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good with that stuff.
same.
Like, I mean, like, I've tried to say, "Oh, you do this on Mondays, you do the bathroom on Mondays,
Mhm.
on this Tuesdays," and I don't stick well to that.
Yeah,
Generally, for me, I walk into the bathroom one day and I say, "My god, that sink is filthy,"
yeah,
Yep.
and I clean the whole bathroom,
yeah.
right?
Yes, because if I try to force myself to clean, I might get 1 or 2 things done, but if I get in there and be like, I'm gonna clean the whole thing."
Right.
Mhm.
Well, or like if, you're in the kitchen, like
Mhm.
we were in the kitchen the other day
Yes, and you were doing the dishes because we were chit-chatting.
because we were just chit chatting, and it was easier because then you got that body doubling thing going
Yeah.
on there.
Exactly, yes. Or, like, task doubling too, because
Yeah.
like
Task stacking?
yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did that this morning. I made a pot of coffee, and while I was waiting for the pot of coffee to make, I did the dishes.
Hey, I've done that. Like it takes about the same length of time to
Yeah.
unload the dishwasher as it does to make a cup of coffee.
Mm. I used to do that sometimes when I would make, like I remember I remember I did this once to you and Dad. I was making a bagel, and I was waiting for my bagel to cook, so while the bagel was cooking, I did the dishes, and you guys were like, "Are you okay? Why are you doing the
You're
dishes?"
freaking me out.
And I was
Right.
like, "I'm waiting for my bagel to cook." I
Did you
was
do
just
something? Or are you
filling the
trying to
time.
Right? What's
And
going on here?
and Dad was like, "We need to keep bagels in the house. More bagels."
More bagels.
That only worked, like, maybe 2 or 3 times.
Oh yeah, but I love doing stuff like that. The
Yeah.
dishwasher or
Time
whatever.
me.
Or the washer machine.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. All right, are we ready for one more question
I think
here?
Abso
so.
Oh, there's two good ones. All right. Who wants this one?
I'd take it.
All
I
right.
mean, we're all gonna end up talking.
Of course, it's just who starts it is
Sure,
right.
sure,
Yeah.
sure. Let him do it.
Who's starting this one?
I started.
All right, Jack's starting this one. Does creative energy ever turn into chaos? And how do you rein it back in?
Oh my god, yes. Wow. That is a really good one. But what comes specifically to mind first is times where I'm trying to tidy things up and I'll keep hopping to another thing and having not finished the first thing. The best thing I can think of is our craft corner where like, oh, I'm starting to tidy up the craft corner a bit. I've got this thing which goes on the desk. So I'm over here at the desk now. I haven't finished the craft corner, but the desk is just overwhelmed. and the cords aren't managed, so I'm gonna go manage the cords really quick, and, oh, it's kinda dusty under the desk, so maybe I'll grab the vacuum, and on the way,
Yes.
so it absolutely does just kind of devolve sometimes
Yes,
where
Well,
it feels
absolutely.
like you're being productive, and in a way, you are because 'cause you're
mhm.
chipping tiny little corners off a bunch
Right,
of
but you're
different
getting
tasks.
absolutely nothing done.
Absolutely nothing. It's
And it
essentially the same when you revisit it later.
and
Yeah.
expending a lot more energy too because you're moving all over the place, and I think that's where, like, the task stacking, it can be helpful if you can task all of the stacks
Back all the
stack all of
tasks.
the tasks correctly.
Yeah.
If you do that in the right order, but sometimes you're like, "Oh, I was over there, and now I should have grabbed that while I was over there," and then
Yeah.
it's like
Like, if you finish the task,
yes.
like
And then I will get the ADHD paralysis where it's
Mhm.
like I literally I do this a lot where I'm in between 2 places, and I'll be, like, going one way, and I'll be like, "Oh, but the other thing," and then I'll stop, and I'll go
yeah.
the other way, and I'll be like,
Yep.
"But this"
2 or 3 times, you're like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh."
Absolutely.
Start looking like you're doing like a
You're right.
food. I remember as a kid,
Mm.
Yes.
especially, but even okay, even into adulthood, it happened. But for me, my personality, my ability to get people laughing, my ability to engage people and be like the life of the party
Mm.
can turn from fun to chaos
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a hot minute. And then suddenly I've gone too far
And I'm doing too much.
and I'm doing,
Yep.
I'd be doing too much.
I've been doing
Yep.
too much.
a- And so I need to paddle it back. And that triggers an RSD event.
That
And
is so real.
yes, and so, like, that for me is one of the ones where it's just, like, everything is going great, people are laughing, you're having a great
Mhm.
time, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Whoops."
Yeah.
I did too much.
Did
I
too
did
much.
too much, and now I'm embarrassed.
My cup
Yes.
overfloweth.
And now I'm going to shell. I do that when I drink.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like the same thing. Like I will be. It was a terrible idea to stand on the chair, Savannah, and everybody knows that now because you fell into the table and ruined Jenga.
Ruined Jenga.
No, I greatly enhanced the
Yes,
experience for
exactly.
everyone.
You made it memorable.
But at the moment, I was like, well. I definitely here we go. I had to go cry for a minute because I was so embarrassed.
yeah, but that for me is the experience as far as
Yes.
that
Yep.
goes.
Well, and that's I'll do a little aside on that as well that I was thinking about recently, where it's interesting to try to pick the tasks that fill your cup in certain ways and how those tasks have different kind of, if we're sticking with the metaphor, amounts of water to them,
Mm.
depending on the day or like the
Oh,
season.
heavens,
yeah.
It's
yeah.
never the same, like, oh, I did this yesterday and it gave me this dopamine, so I'll do it again today and it'll give me this dopamine.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, exactly. Just like, how purple can be my favorite color one day and then turquoise the next.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then back
Yes.
to purple. And yeah, because like I don't know depending on the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I swear to God, my eye color matches my personality because my eyes change. If somebody asks me, what's your favorite something or other? My answer is always depends on the day, depends
Yes.
on
Yeah.
where I am.
Right now?
Right now?
Absolutely.
Right now, or like yesterday, or like when I was a kid,
Yeah,
or
what's your favorite
Right.
comfort food? Well, right now it would probably be like hot cocoa,
oh yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's a good point because I
Brony.
never really like in my mind. It's always been, "What's your favorite food?" Well, it's it has to be the same food all the time. It's like no, no,
right,
you have
right.
No,
different favorite foods.
every
That's
single
something I didn't fully come to yet. Actually,
change.
yeah, I keep thinking I need to have like a default answer for that. It's like no, I
And yeah,
can have
the
different
answer
favorite
is
foods.
When
no.
I'm in Italy,
When in Rome,
Right?
when dining in Scotland,
tea tastes better in England.
It does.
I'm sure
Oh,
it
it's so
does.
It
good.
tastes better
Oh
in
my
England.
god.
Yeah.
I've tried. I've used the same kind of tea, and like I've done it all the same way that we made it in England, and it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not in the same place.
That was 2019.
Yeah, I
Jeez.
know. Crazy,
Woof.
right? All right, Jack and Savannah, we have had a great conversation, I would say.
I would dare
Yes.
say.
I would dare say.
Agreed.
Great questions, great answers.
Great times.
Great times, hopefully a little bit of relatability for our butterflies, and hopefully you guys can put up with the chaos that is yeah, like the chaos.
Full circle.
Full circle. That is us. I hope you've enjoyed the time. If you have, make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things, comment, ask us questions. We'd love to answer your questions. Say we'll be serious about them, but I think it would be fun to continue with this if you guys like it. So let us know if you like it or not. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. You
Peace.
guys are up for answering more questions, right?
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah.
I
Oh,
knew
yeah.
it. I knew it. All right. So thank you again and see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.